Hey folks, welcome back to Timberborn, and we are just going to carry on playing essentially. So last time we got the underground irrigation system finished. I was going to say reservoir, but it's really focused on irrigating the mangroves. The bonus is it will mean that we don't need to run the water dump, so we will use less of our water supply. Do need to check some of these, make sure they are set correctly. These are not. Gosh, yeah, it's just that one, I think. So cool. So last time we made this a bit deeper because we were struggling for water supply. Also added in a little bit more water supply. So things I think we need to work on. Probably growing some more trees, or really just maybe continuing to clear some of the many trees we have access to. Maybe expanding the tubeway network and starting to grow some trees up here. That probably wouldn't be a bad idea. It looks like, yeah, there is a water source up here, so maybe putting in some irrigation up here. That might be sensible. Yeah. Trying to ensure that we can survive what's going to be ever increasing drought. I want to thank you to Drought, who worked out which of the supporting posts in here we can delete, and my intent is to replace the ones that we keep with dirt to try and help with keeping this irrigated, because it looks very cool irrigated, and the plan is to put a farm in here. So for that we need the dirt excavator, which I think is going to be our next big project. And for that we have the treated planks, we have the gears, we have the metal, so we could just crack on with that. I think it would possibly, there's a word for you, be sensible to maybe put that over the back here, somewhat out of the way. We can always relocate it later on anyway. So let's get the game going. And I was expecting to actually have to wait a little bit for the resources to build this, but I think, you know, that we just sling it in. So, and then we'll worry about some other bits and pieces. So what I'm going to do is mark this for demolition. Prioritize that. Let's looking for a nice. So many of the areas of trees are in kind of small clusters. A lot over there. Also a lot more down there. Decision paralysis. It is a thing. Definitely a thing. And again, tee off of the tubeways there. Clear that lot out. Pause you. Yeah, let's do that. Let's come here. Tiny tubeway station there. So we can do that without having to delete any. That. Let's prioritize that because we're still kind of struggling for lumber, and we can then get all of that. And that'll be a good thing. We probably also want to come up here, clear all of this. So let's do that. They are already marked for cutting. We also now do not want to be filling those because we have other things that are planned to go there. Also kind of short of beavers, so let's unlock the big house. No, not the jail, the bigger house or barracks. So that's going to give us another 16 beds, which is kind of nice. That lantern and make that to closed off area, and we can put in some small well-being things like that. Maybe we throw in then another breeding pod as well. And then we put down the... So why does that not... Okay. Let's do that. Let's shift the path over so it lines up. Go. Yep, that works. We're going to need power, obviously. And a bit of me wants to do the power slightly neater, so we'll come here. Feed the power in underneath. That may be slightly excessive on the power connection coming into it, but it doesn't matter. It'll be okay. So, yep, that's good. This guy is now cutting down trees. We're going to make sure that's prioritized by haulers to speed up the process. We're then going to need to put in a staircase over here. To put in more lumberjacks as well, probably, eventually. Yeah. Oh. Are we doing? You are closed. Why are you closed? Because of that. Let's get rid of you. Get rid of you. Want this to be white closes. That's full. That's okay. And yeah, the dams are then in there to allow overflow, which is perfect. When contamination kicks in, they close, they open. Yep. Brilliant. That's it. So let's detonate that. Oh, one of you. So it'll be 2 of the solid ones. Just because then should be on top of them from a building point of view. Awesome. Just for neatness, we'll put platforms over that. It just means then if we need to get access through here, we can. I know why I've done it. I think it just makes more sense to me. Do it that way. And I'm just kind of hoping that the power grid will hold up to all of that. Staircase. Path. Priority. Two fresh lumberjacks there. Bosh, bosh. Well, I think it matters, but we'll unmark those. And we will mark all of these to be cut down. Yes. Out there. Actually, it would make more sense. A lot more resources just for 2 trees. Let's just pause for a second. I'm sure there's a gap there. Yes, I am. Anyway. Yeah, so let's get all of those. So let's mark those as well. Then let's go up here and let's make sure that everything behaves, shall we? Because this stuff is freshly set. Those have closed. Those have not closed yet. Those are closed. Those are closed. Awesome. What we'd like to see. It's working as intended. And let's just check over here. Yeah, this has worked as well. Brilliant. And this now should be doing its thing, and it should keep this at 0.03, which is going to be plenty. I've turned this off for now, so this should stay shut. These will do their pumping to keep our water supply stocked up, hopefully. These should pause. Yep. Working on it, and this you can set really low if you want. It just needs to have some water in there, and we'll see how this remains green. I got not. Let's mark those to be cut as well, because that guy can probably get those. Logs. Logs are an issue. So there's a decent supply of logs to be tapped over here. So let's do that. Let's come over here. Let's pause both of these so they can recover. Let's get rid of that. kind of makes sense to cut down all of this standing stuff. If we had more beavers, I'd throw more at it, but let's make use of that for now. Pick up the pace a little bit, and yeah. It does make me think, wow, that's a lot of logs. That's not what I meant, or not what I was about to say. But that is quite a lot of logs, so let's also think about getting to that. Let's use a tubeway. Preserve. Well, that's not what I meant to click on. We'll preserve the path. Okay, there we go. Bosh, bosh. That. Yeah, works. There. Other one up there. Where are we? Where do we want to put our... guess we could do it in phases, couldn't we? There. Initially. Cut down this first bit. Let's do that. Let's do it that way. Will work just fine. Okay, so they've stripped all of that out, so we can delete those now. That. Well, put a tiny tubeway station on the side there. We've still got access to this. To come down here. Plan to come down here. We're going to need to get rid of some of that stuff, so bosh, bosh, bosh. There. That all being on separate levels is a bit of a pain in the butt. That got a slope on it. It has. Okay. So let's instead do a ladder there. There. Let's then delete. That one from above. Let's get rid of that. There. Should be able to delete you from that level. While they're doing all of that, if we put that there, they should be able to get to a load of that stuff. And at the same time, if we really need to, we could put a scrap metal flag there. to rip out all of that. But goal is to get to the point where we are able to access the mine. Site for the mine. So those you can. Awesome. You're still working on all of those, so we will leave you to it. They are almost to there, which is great. That for now. We've got 5,000 water, which is brilliant, and that's still nice and deep. We could, if we wanted, put another water pump there. We've got that to get rid of. To delete that block, or we could build over it. Deleting it would be better. Let's get all the other stuff built that we're trying to get built first, shall we? How's our food looking? So better. Could probably do with more storage, actually. But again, let's get everything built that we're trying to build. I was going to ask how this is doing, but we can still see water in here, which tells me how deep this is at the moment. So that's good. This is almost in, which is also very good. And let's mark all of these for cutting out to here, because, yep, they can get quite a bit, so that's going to help a lot. They are done. So let's come across here. At that point, we can now put. Is it worth it? Is it worth spending 5 logs for that? Probably, because we'll get most of it back. So let's put that in. Trees. Mark for cutting. So they can do those. Path. I know where all the things are in the game. Here. Place a couple more. Take long, did it? So if you just trying to decide if we try and go down here. Guess what would maybe make sense is just to continue. This. And up here, putting a bunch of lumberjacks up here. Are positive on the number of logs. How is our tree farm looking? Because we've got spare beaver, so let's start getting some of these cut down. Could go. That's now dried out, and that's still hydrated, so I kind of like that. It's just starting to, as I say it, to show signs of not being hydrated. So yes, there's our answer to that. Back, we can get back. I drop down, I'll try and drop down here. It's going to be a bit of a pain in it, but all of that is blocked off. Trees. So I think maybe the answer is, I not mark that last oak tree for cutting. I did not. We go elsewhere for our tree cutting now. Let's put that there. Let's come up there. Tiny tubeway station. Let's delete you, and hopefully that will work okay. Don't get stuck. Let's pause you actually. Now let's clear all of that and beyond, hopefully. Yeah, it's kind of scrappy, but there's so many logs on this map that it sort of makes sense to do this, I think. And I say sort of because obviously we're expending resources to achieve that, but right. Let's get in here. Wow, that was a loud car. Get 4 lumberjacks because we've got plenty of spare beavers, it would appear. This whole area for cutting. Yep. Awesome. Go again, back in a much better position for logs, which is great. Are we excavating? We are. We should build a storage for dirt, shouldn't we? Yeah. Let's build it here. Obtain. You should be set to be automated on product. Again, I'm going to make it quite a wide range. Then we can start the process. And what I'm going to do first is I'm going to do this backwards. I'm going to delete the ones we want to keep. And rebuild them. And then we'll be in a good position. So 1, 2, 3. So we want to, in this situation, I'll put the diagram up on the screen as well. Delete little one. So I want to stop my phone vibrating at me because it's really annoying. 1 second. But my phone had an update and it seems to default to vibrate a lot more than silent. And silent is what it should be on. So, want the middle one here. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if we delete 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if we delete that stack, yes. Come in and collect it, which they have. Escaping up the terrain block. Base all of that with dirt. Awesome. And the same thing at the other end. So that's one. Yes. Build it with dirt. And you'd still be able to get to this from the from here. So I'm assuming, yeah, that they can get to this, so that's good. Come down. Two and in one. Go again. That one. Yes. The equivalent the other side. Yes. And build those. Right. Go into, that must be the middle row. And 2 more, and in 3. There, delete that one. Delete that side, delete that one. Cold water supply those. Let me do all of the deleting actually, because it'd be good for how much, you know, we're leaving lots behind at the moment still. So up to in 1 from the bottom. 2 in 1 from the bottom. Yep, and we've done the other one. So all right, I need to do those ones. Check if it looks right with the diagram that I've got. Should be 3 in between those, 3 either side. 5 and 5. Yep. 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Yep. So once they've built all of those, we should, in theory, then be able to delete the rest of them, because nothing should be more than 3 squares from a supported pillar. Is the theory. So I'm completely putting my trust in the jar on this one. It's right to me. So right on the diagram. So yep, hopefully we can get this built nice and quickly, and that'll be awesome. And I appreciate not having to do the legwork myself. How's our water stock looking in there? We've got at least a couple of. It'd be nice. We can put in a stream gauge, which will be cool. definitely want to keep an eye on that. So that'll be good. Have 7 days left. We've got nearly 5,000 water and still a decent amount of water there. Over here they have cut down all of those trees, so let's do that. Mark the next layer down for cutting. And hopefully that'll be good for a bit more. Quite a lot of trees over here. So, and is that a bad water source? Or just a water source? It's just a water source. So we could maybe set that up to things clean. We'll see. That a water source or a bad water source? A couple of water sources. So. Right. That is full. Got those built? Kind of hard to tell. Yeah, looks like they have. Right. Now the oh no, last one being built. Yes, that looks like that's all built. So now we start the process of deleting things. Just in case. Let's save the game, hey? In theory now we can rebuild it, but, you know. Awesome. I guess if we want to get back the planks to move everything across. That's his path there, isn't it? Delete. Go and then delete those. Those. I guess actually they don't have room to pick those up, do they? Planks. This is going to be an awful lot of planks, though. Might have to do this slowly, actually, and just use it as a stockpile of planks. Now, it's not done what I hoped. It's not irrigated the top, but you know. So we are full on planks again, so we will just slowly work on, as we need planks. I guess we can rip those out. Yeah. Have they cut down all of those already as well? Okay, all right. Tree cutting. need to work on building a large storage area. Honestly, kind of like, well, I kind of like the idea actually of just hollowing that whole thing out for the fun of it. We might need to grow the colony a bit for that, and our infrastructure capability. Almost managed to keep that going. I think if we deepen this another one, be in a pretty good place. I will set up the explosives ready to do that. I mean, this wasn't the longest drought, bad tide, but let's prepare for that. Got 2 days left. How much water have we got? Actually, we can now put that. And what I'm going to do is prioritize the build of that, and we're going to link the fluid dump to this being empty, because if this is empty we have a problem, and I'm quite happy then if this just starts dumping non-stop, because at the very least if it's leaking out of here it will alert me to there being an issue that we need to address. So that seems sensible to me. Right. Master stream gauge. Bosh. Unpause below. Wait. Yeah. Above. Wait. 1. Should do the job. That's worked much better on the water situation. I'm a little bit tempted to put some irrigation here. Plant trees through this. So going to build if you want to automate products, why are you running? Anyway, storage. Pause you for now. Right. Probably can be paused. Place the rest of these. Some more pathage. Do the job. go. If you can go. That. Definitely need to be growing more trees. And we've got, however, you know, as I did say, it was temporary, but we have a farm. So, a food farm, not a tree farm. What are we doing over here, actually? Guys working. Both working. All the way down. That in. And delete you. We need to get mine up and running, I think. I think we need to get bots going soon, actually, as well, if we're going to be doing the mine. Very indecisive at the moment. I apologise for. I don't really have much of a goal in this series at the moment, other than to play the game. What can we do here? That. Buying that's like that. Let's place that with that. Then do that. Wondering. Guessing this isn't going to work. Does. Like that. I'm very conscious that I'm running very long paths everywhere. That kind of sucks. So let's do that. Then we can delete a bunch of this path. Going to there. Path like that. Could go. Go. Pretty sure we can go in the roof of one of those. Yep. Bosh. Bosh. Right there. It's very sprawling colony, isn't it? It's a very sprawling colony. But, you know, it's a kind of sprawling map, I I suppose. How are we doing for power? Okay, we're at least not completely depleting this, which is good. Aha, we need to detonate that. Next one. H for boom. That there as well. Prioritize both of those. We're good for amount of water pumping at the moment. Storing a lot more water, which is good. Like that. All of the things are happening, which we also like. Supply is okay. Water supply is okay. Rock supply is okay. Way station. Bar. I'm going to leave some of this path actually because it might be quicker for them to use the tube way and then come back rather than going all the way round. Right, they've built that, so what I'm thinking is we build it out of terrain around here rather than sinking it. Yeah. Not thought it through particularly in depth yet, but we'll see how it goes. See how it goes. I just want to get another tree forest. Tree forest as if there's any other kind of forest. At least in this game. So that's basically in. I guess we're going to want some storage, but we could always store stuff up here, couldn't we? So that's not a big problem. Yeah, that's not a big problem. Because we've got tube-way connections all the way through here, so it doesn't really matter at all. Right. No. And because of the tube-ways, it actually makes it relatively close. So that's all quite good. We have a little bit of an excess of beavers, which is fine because we're probably getting injuries. So I'm quite comfortable to have a little bit of an excess. Wonderful neighbours have started using power tools in the front garden. So it might take us a while to get the mine built, but that's okay because we've got a little bit of a supply of stuff there, and probably, apart from the fact that we've got to port power across, it might make sense to do like the processing of the scrap metal here. So let's clear out not all the tree stumps. Stumps are fine. Yeah. And we get Bit of explosiving. With not too much exploding by the looks of it, we could get some power wheels in there. That would be good. Yeah, can get to that. Ooh. I think again we'll play up towards the start of the next in the temperate season. We want to be working our way down here. Get to some power generation capability. I want to put a large power wheel in. If we detonated out that block there to raise the power wheel up, blast that block out, arrow it a little bit. So get to there, that out. Are you not building that? Probably just because I've asked them to do loads of stuff. Like build a massive mine. Yeah. You know, just that. Just that, really. Probably want to get them to cut down trees. 2, 3, so there. Difficult. Funny that our water levels go down during the temperate season. We need more water pumps. Build them here. Bad tide coming. Pause. Pause. And ideally, we'd probably put a tubeway link to maybe here. A lot more tubewaying to do. Or you. That's been built. So H for boom. Let's blast that out as well, actually. Put that back. Take that out. It's making decent progress on that. Still fully stocked on planks, which is good. And that's in, so going to not do you. Oh, we might as well actually. Yeah. Let's do it properly. Yeah. Hold on. Let's recollect those. That's powered by a few bad water sources, so that'll be pretty good. It's something that we could turn into a permanent power source. Hopefully, let's pick those up. There we go. And then what we want to do is our large water wheel. We're going to go there. There. And if we want to, we could open some of this up to put another one in. Well, I say want, need. We need more power. And then my thought is that we also put that there. It'll act as a nice junction and a storage unit. There. Go there. Actually, that's not what I wanted to do at all. I guess it is, because it might only fit there. We need to block that side. Oh, annoying. Annoying. Bad tide started, a 23-day bad tide this time. Right, we're going to come here and here. Fill this with terrain blocks to focus the bad water under the water wheel. Awesome. Open that way. No. It's weird that a bad tide started and it seems to have stopped the flow through there. There we go. No. So that's generating an amount. Yes, if we wanted to run a couple of smelters, we'd maybe need a bit more. Focusing it will hopefully help. My thought is that probably not too much work. We can get another one here. Exploding that block. Let us get another one in. That just needs treated planks, so that would be pretty cool. Stop doing that. Yeah, we'll get this done and then we will call it a day, I think. Really hope you can't hear the angle grinding. hopefully our new deeper reservoir will be sufficient to get us through this time. We are going to need to actually focus on sorting out water supply, because we have the potential for these to be much longer. So yeah, don't like that. We don't like that. Brave beavers. That's showing at 400. Okay, that we like. That's enough to power 2 on its own. Right. You can go, you can go, you can go. And we should be able to throw in... Oh, do that. That. Go. Get both of those built. That should give us nearly 1,000 power supply. So I think that suggests to me that we should be processing our heavy industry over here. Yeah, because this one's for 40. This one will hopefully be similar. Which you'll see in a moment. Probably have some of these on the floor waiting to be picked up. Avoid the lumber mill spinning up. Get that done. Again, which is cool. We're in a really good place for things. I'm quite tempted to look at bots next time. Okay, so that one's a little bit lower on the old power output. I guess it's not quite so well placed in the flow. We could improve that. Like if we blasted that one out and filled those in, but for what we want, we're probably okay. You know, we don't have to be perfectly optimal. We have plenty enough to peel the carrots we need to peel. That's just about done. So 7 more treated planks, that'll be good. That's in. So what I want to do here is replace that with a couple of ladders. Dump up here. So put in stream gauge. If I pause that, so they build the stream gauge first. That'll be awesome. We've got basically 5,000 water left and plenty in our reservoir. If I click on here, and go to advanced, it'll tell me we've got 2.8 meters worth of water left in here, which is a sneaky cool little trick. We'll attach that to there. We'll have that pause above point 6. Yeah. So that'll do. And that has hydrated a lot of that very nicely. What I think we'll do is make use of the 3D terrain to get around here. Fill in this. No, not yet. Let's put a staircase there. Let's eat that birch tree. That we will backfill. Fill that in. Instantly got a dumbass beaver that's got itself stuck, but you know, it'll eventually get unstuck. The mine is good to go. We will pause that for now, I think. But we need some extract and some treated plank storage. What I'll do is let them clear out this stuff first. Save on the injuries that we're going to get. Let them get that done. Still got 2.5 meters in there. That's still going fine. Yeah, I'm kind of pleased we've made some solid progress. Again, definitely think that we need to be looking at more water storage. Again, I don't. Oh, we can. So we can deepen this a bit more. Looks like we can go down another 2. So we should be looking to do that. In fact, let's unlock the double explosives and plan that in. Because that's going to be useful. It'll be interesting to see how the reservoir lasts over the course of this slightly longer bad tide. Far from the longest we are going to see. Difficulty settings that we have. Those. Interestingly, it's going to put it deeper than we can pump out. So we would need to build another set of pumps to pump the last of it out, but that might be worth doing. Or we could put in a deep mechanical pump to bring the last of it over the top into here to pump out. Either way, it's worth storing it. We should so probably do a few bits and pieces around here. this stuff tidied up. Start to think about planting some trees in here. A few jacks as well eventually. At lifting this up. I'm curious if this will the hydration will spread further or not. We'll see. Yeah, but that's it for today, folks. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Interested in people's thoughts on the direction we should be taking the series. As I said, I'm really just kind of enjoying playing the game. Remember, we do have, I think, max 75-day droughts and bad tides. I think it was 75 that I set them to. And kind of a goal to do more underground stuff. So we probably need to be expanding our explosives, planks, and extract production and storage. I really like the idea of creating some sort of cave system under here. This is quite big, so it would be a prime opportunity for that. And maybe building a district under here. What are your thoughts? Because we have a water source here. It's running bad water at the moment, but that's, yeah, let me know your thoughts. Do we try and build an underground colony in here? That's kind of piqued my interest. We've got the beginnings of an access point here. Yeah, let me know your thoughts. Anyway, that's it for today, folks. See you next time.